Hey everybody, welcome to Stocks Hours Trading. Thanks everyone for joining. Wagwan. Thanks to everybody. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It's 6:37 a.m. Eastern, and it is Monday, July 20th. So hope everyone is having a great morning. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I also hope everybody had a great week all last week. Myself, I was in Jamaica for some holidays and some vacation time, and we're back now this week. So we're going to go back to the regular schedule Monday morning, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be right after Dave's post New York. So we'll get started around 11 a.m. Eastern, and Friday as well. Okay, guys. So hopefully everybody traded smart last week and we're ready to go. We will be looking at gold and US30, aka Dow Jones, aka Ms. Jones. We'll be checking out how everything is moving. But first, it's the beginning of the week, so we have to at least look at the news Monday to Friday this week, see if we're walking into any high impact news trading on any specific days, or if it's going to be more of a lighter week. We got to go over this, so we'll go over it together. We won't take too much time, and then we'll get on the charts. Okay, so hopefully everyone is well rested and ready to go. Okay, first thing is Forex Factory news. Lots of development with Iran over the last week. Right now, I'm reading that 3 U.S. service military men have passed away, fighting over there in now Jordan. I'm trying to get caught up with all of the news myself. So what we're seeing right here is Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson Beghi, U.S. talks may continue if it serves national interests. So you guys know, okay, if you're new to this, there's always ongoing talks. There's talks of peace. There's been, then it goes to war, then the Strait of Hormuz is open, then it's closed, and it really affects a lot of the commodities trading, specifically oil and gold. So if you've been trading that as of late, it is volatile. So what we have to do is trade smart. You got to use proper risk management at all times trading, but especially now with all of this volatility. And you can see we're almost in August, in another couple weeks, and the war is still going on. It's not that two weeks that we were originally told when it started. Now it's going on 4 or 5 months. And it's continuing and escalating even more. So please trade careful. Okay, guys, I'm not going to spend the entire call just talking about risk management. You guys should know this as traders. Okay, so today, Monday's news, you can see Europe very light. We have some Canadian news coming in at 8:30, high impact Canadian news regarding inflation, CPI month over month, median CPI, and year over year CPI. So we're going to see what's going on in Canada regarding inflation. That's basically it all day today. So Monday is a very light day, no US high impact news. So just treat it like a regular Monday. Coming off of the weekend, markets are opening up. You know, there could be fake out moves. There could be a setup move. It could be choppy. If you're going to start to trade, maybe take a smaller trade to ease your way in. If you see what you're looking for, if everything is trading according to your analysis, then you can start to increase your position or add more positions. Okay, let's move into Tuesday. We've got some news coming out of the UK, 2 a.m. So pre-London over here, the claimant count change. And we've got some more European news, all low impact throughout the entire day, and including our North American session when we move into our sessions trading with Dave and myself, New York and post New York. We do not have any high impact news tomorrow. Okay, so Tuesday again, pretty light day. Wednesday, midweek, not much going on either, pretty light day. You've got in the UK pre-London some UK news regarding your CPI. So that will be coming out on Wednesday. Crude, we have nothing in New York, and then our crude oil inventories that come out every single Wednesday. And then if you're going to trade the Tokyo session and the Australia Sydney session later in the evening, you've got your AUD employment change and unemployment rate in Australia. Okay, let's move into Thursday. Thursday, a little bit busier news-wise. In nothing going on in Europe, coming out of Europe. Then at 8:15 a.m. Eastern, You have some Eurozone news. You've got your main refinancing rate and monetary policy statement coming out, high impact. So if you're trading at that time, if you're trading the euro, the pound, any European currency for the matter, could be a little volatile right in there. And then we move into our North American session. We have some Canadian news and then our US unemployment claims, our weekly unemployment claims that are released every single week. So I wasn't trading with you guys last week, but I can see last week's numbers are right here. They're posted 208,000, and I can see now the increase of 3,000 this week. We'll see the actual number. And then you move into your natural gas, your treasury currency report, your flash manufacturing, and again, not much going on. So then we wrap up the week, Friday, July 24th. We've got some European news across the board regarding flash manufacturing, flash services in France, Germany, coming in the Eurozone, in UK, and coming back into the US at the Wall Street session at 9:45. Okay, that's basically our news this week. If anything changes, I will let you know, but this is basically it. So we don't have any high impact US news. So it's probably going to be going into the next week when we're going to see some of that. Okay, that doesn't mean that you forget everything and now you just trade and high leverage just because there's no high impact news. It could be a rather choppy week, or we got to see what's going on with Donald Trump, with Iran, with anything going on around the world. Okay, so news-wise, not much going on. Right over here, guys, our day-to-day news. Canada is dubbed a soccer or football nation as FIFA World Cup ends. So again, congratulations to Spain for winning the World Cup. This was a crazy World Cup. I actually went to 3 games, and it was hosted here in Canada, Mexico, and the US. Maybe some of you guys actually went to some of the games as well, and what an atmosphere it was. It was something special, and it had its controversy. It had some wild games. It had some corruption, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. I think Egypt got robbed in this tournament, but it is what it is. This is FIFA. We know how it is, and the next one will be hosted, I believe, in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. So again, congrats to Spain. I was in Jamaica and there was a ton of Argentinian fans there. I don't know, maybe that's their vacation spot where I was, but there was tons of them. And they all look like Maradona's. I think I met Maradona's brother down there. I have a photo, and they all look the same. But there was a ton of them there. And they're very wild fans. Let's put it like that. But congratulations, okay? We're not going to talk this entire call about the World Cup, but I'm big on sports, and I love that. It was a great tournament, okay? So again, congrats to any Spanish fans out there. It was awesome. Okay, now we get back to world news. World eyes post-Iran oil routes as ships reject the U.S. alternate path. Okay, so you can see that U.S. is intervening, coming up with some alternate paths, coming up with some new rules, and I don't think Iran even cares right now, okay? So no matter what Donald Trump is saying, I don't know if Iran is following his what he wants to do, his plan. So we have to, if we're trading oil and gold, we have to monitor that. And then just some news. Okay, SpaceX and OpenAI IPO waves could spark a 40% crash. SpaceX has been dumping as of late. That's what I've been saying. From the IPO was always don't buy the highs, don't buy the FOMO, don't buy the hype. You may be the exit liquidity that these big elite players are looking for. So, there was a lot of you guys that maybe got caught on the excitement and wanted to buy SpaceX when it first IPO'd, and then it pumped up, and then you didn't do anything. You thought it was going to go higher. You know how trading and investing goes. And then they dump it, and now it's right back down below IPO levels, and it's at its all-time low. So this could be an opportunity where some investors, some traders have been waiting to start a position, or even maybe it will continue to fall. So that's what we try and teach here at SST. Whether you're investing, whether you're swing trading, whether you're intraday trading, whether you're scalping, that don't always just FOMO trade. Okay, always have in the back of your mind that, there might be another day, there might be another trade, and there might be a better opportunity. Okay, so you have to understand that, and going on these calls with you guys too, it's my job to teach that as well. I get on these calls and everyone's saying, Ron, why are we not buying? Why are we not buying? The first 5-minute candle that something moves. And I'm always saying, guys, we got to retrace maybe back to a zone or something like that. So you got to understand it works like that same mentality in investing as well. Okay, maybe you had to wait 1 month. You see what I mean? Like this, it takes time to wait for things to come down. Sometimes they take more than a 5-minute candle. Sometimes they take 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, sometimes a year before things start to scale back. We're even seeing it right now with like gold and oil and things like that could have been coming back to some levels and now escalating, going back up. But there will always be an opportunity for those that wait patiently, that set alerts on their chart and actively look at the markets. Don't have to be trading, but waiting for your intended position. Okay, guys? The market will come to you if you wait. If you rush trades, then you have to know that you could be FOMO trading. You could be trading on impulse and you could be trading not on confirmations. Okay. So that's what's going on. US gas prices hit an average of $4 a gallon again as the US and Iran launch attacks. Okay. Oil prices extend gains on escalating Middle East hostilities we're seeing right now. Okay. So that's all in the news. We'll get some live updated news as well as we go on. And guys, everybody on YouTube, thanks everyone for joining back. We have 200 viewers. I appreciate you guys. There is a free Telegram channel pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. It has all of our upcoming live links right over here. It's got before and after of our trade signals and trade ideas that we do in the Discord group. We've also teamed up with AI Trade Ideas again. We didn't announce the winner last week because obviously I wasn't here with you guys, but this week we'll announce a winner, but you have to follow the rules. You have to be subscribed to the AI Trade Ideas Telegram and our free Telegram, this one right here, in order to win. And you'll win 1 month with us and 1 month with the AI Trade Ideas. And again, guys, if you didn't know where I was last week, I was in sunny, beautiful Jamaica. If you haven't been, I highly recommend that you go at one time in your lifetime to Jamaica. It is absolutely gorgeous. The people down there are inviting, they're welcoming. The vibe down there is amazing, and it's my multiple times I've been there. I think it's my 5th or 6th time I've gone now, and I love it there. I feel like it's home for me down there. And shout out to all the Jamaicans in the crew, Wagwan. Thank you guys. It was amazing down there. And if you haven't gone, I highly recommend you go. Anywhere in Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, Negril is beautiful, guys. The Caribbean Sea is what I'm going to miss the most, and that sunny weather down there. And guys, if you want to join SST, you're welcome to join at any time. Visit our website, stocksnipertrading.com. You can join where you get the education that you need to learn about trading with myself and Dave through all of these courses, quizzes, there's tutorials, there's all type of boot camps here regarding anything Forex, psychology, crypto, risk management, stock and options, history of gold. These are 3 to 6 day boot camps. And then you have over 100 webinars with a beginner level, more of a intermediate level, then finally the advanced levels, and lots of things over here for you guys if you want to take your trading to the next level and learn a little bit more. And in all of our live sessions this week, guys, sorry it didn't get updated because of the week we were off, but I will update this later on this afternoon, but we're right back to our normal schedule. And if you want free blogs, guys, there's also free blogs available on our website. And finally, guys, thank you. We kind of plateaued a little bit and then we took a week off and YouTube didn't grow, but now we're back. We're at 103,700 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. As you guys can see, maybe behind me, you can see that there's that play button when we hit 100,000. And so hopefully this week we'll be at 104. Okay. So guys, let's get into this. I'm going to do a little top-down analysis on gold, XAUUSD, and then we'll also look at Dow Jones as well, okay? And we're here till about 10 a.m., just after 10 a.m., so we got a good 3 hours ahead of us, okay? So please, guys, grab some coffee, you know, make sure you guys are ready, and let's get into this. So welcome everybody on Zoom. Tulumi, welcome. Good afternoon to you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Christoph, welcome. It's good to be back with you guys. Sonia, welcome. Thank you for joining. Mike, thank you. Nice tan. I was darker when we first got there. And then when I came back over here, I couldn't go outside. Like my mom was calling me and she's like, don't go outside, don't go outside. I go, why? She goes, there's a smoke advisory. We have wildfires in the north and it's been the worst weather in the world over here where we are, believe it or not, but it's actually getting a little bit better. So you go outside and it smells like burnt rubber. It smells like tires are burning. But maybe I picked a good week to get out of here. Emmanuel, welcome. Before we start, go Spain. Yep, it's a big day for the Spanish. They're probably still celebrating right now. Welcome, guys. Country cousin, welcome. Santiago, thank you. Moses, no, next time I'll take you with us. You're welcome to come. Alex, did you smoke with the Rasta man? No comment. Raul, welcome. You've been to Barbados on a Caribbean cruise? Yes, Barbados is really, 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 really nice as well. Okay, and Krina, welcome. Good morning. And everybody on YouTube, from all the way from the top, welcome. I self-govern, welcome. Grand Awakening, welcome. Frozy, welcome. Welcome. New week, new energy. I believe in that. Yep. Faithology. I was going to call you Faithology, but it's Faithology. Welcome, welcome. Maybe I butchered that, but welcome. And Jay Angel, welcome. Good day to you. And everybody else, if I missed you guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Let's get started. Please, guys, if you can, like the YouTube channel. It really does help. And not just help us, but it helps with the algorithm and everything like that. And anybody looking for free trading, maybe you'll get us trending and can boost the channel. So thank you guys so much. And also, if you guys can subscribe to the channel, if you're not subscribed already, let's get into this. Okay, so pretend I haven't been here for a week, which I haven't, and maybe I haven't looked at gold over a week. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did take a few scalps while I was in Jamaica. I waited patiently for it to come to me. Maybe I was having a margarita. Maybe I was enjoying my time down there, but I still got an alert, looked for a setup, and made a few pips here and there, okay? But I'm gonna do a top down with you guys to get back into this. Maybe we're gonna highlight some key levels. We're going to look for some zones. We're going to set up our charts, and then hopefully we can look for a trade today, okay? And I just want to say one thing before we get started. For anyone on this channel, whether today is your first day or you've been here for 6 years with us, and you're still learning and you're still with us, I recommend that when you're learning with us, you trade a little smaller, you know, just to understand. If I go into a trade, you can follow along with me without you know, panicking while you're in the trade. I don't use a huge stop loss. So, you know, you don't need to be over leveraged. You can lower your leverage and learn while you're in the trade, whether the trade is going in profit, whether the trade is going in drawdown, whether the trade is stopped out, whether the trade is a break even, or whether I just, you know, we talk about it and we just ultimately get out of the trade without hitting a TP or stop loss and we look for another trade. Whatever it is, trading is, it's live, you know, we do live trading and we don't know the outcome of every single trade. I try to the best of my ability to get into trades and obviously hit profit targets, but everyone has different profit targets. Everyone has different risk management levels, but I try to do one approach on all of these calls. But obviously if some traders are over leveraged than others or using a bigger position, it's gonna, you know, the results are going to be different. Okay. I just recommend that if you're learning, lower your size unless you have the experience to trade a little larger. Okay. And let's get started. So on the daily on gold, okay, bigger picture now. Now look at how we've been trading, okay. So just from the top down, starting from the top, we've got an all-time high up here, right up here, 5,600. I'm not going to go too much into the detail, but we've had an all-time high end of January this year, early February. Did I murder the name? I apologize. What is it? I can read it slowly. I see faith, all low, faith, faith a logbow. Maybe that's a little bit better. Okay. And then you can see that there is a trend line. So if I go from the all-time high and I bring it down to those bodies right there, you guys remember me? I'm a hugger. So if I saw you in Jamaica, I probably came up to you and gave you a big hug. And I'm going to hug the bodies just like I would hug you in real life. Okay, you see how I hug those bodies? I don't hug the all-time high wicks like that because you can see the trend line would be all the way up there. I like to hug the bodies, and that's where the candle opened and closed, okay? I do that with all time frames unless I go with the wicks, but if I go with the wicks, I do it across the board on all time frames. I keep it consistent, okay? So if I extend that, I can see now with missing a week of trading, I can still see we're below the all-time high trend line. I can see that we've just been still consolidating the week I was still gone, and we haven't broke out of here, or we haven't really broke down. So we're still trading in here, okay? Now just continue to go forward, bringing it down to some more recent levels. Okay, now I'm just setting up yellow lines at some points of interest. Right here, everybody on the call should have a yellow line right around here, right around 48.50. Why? Because you can see it was the resistance that did not allow us to get above there, okay? If you want to draw a zone there, you're welcome to draw a zone a little bit above, a little bit right there, and then you can maybe see that there's not just a line there, there's more of a zone there, okay? And I like to make it red to illustrate that it is resistance, or it's a seller zone, or it's a block of supply right there. If it ever does come back in there and we get rejected, it could technically go back down unless we close above and we flip the zone. So you guys know we do that on all time frames, so it doesn't change on the daily. We look for the same thing on the lower time frames. So I can see we are still below this, so let's continue to do some analysis below that level. Right over here, there was a nice little pivot where we did find some support right here around 43.75 area, and you can see it was a double bottom with the Donald Trump liquidity grab right there. And if we look back, it was a previous all-time high zone right there in October of 2025. As we stretch it into the future, we can see the new year just before Christmas time, it broke above, it came back down. Look at when it consolidated right into the new year, and then Happy New Year, and then starting the new day, Monday, January 5th, 2026, gold was bullish right there. And that's when it started to move to the all-time high right up there, okay? And as you continue with that zone into the future, there's a clear A+ setup of a double bottom, which grabbed liquidity and took off, okay? But you can see it didn't have enough volume to break this red zone above us. It tried, and then it came back down. So when it comes back down, it could come back down and trade back to the green box. And there it was on that day, May 28, where it bounced off of there and came back up. But you can see every time it bounces up, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So the offers are continuing to, fill a lot of these buying orders, and the market keeps dropping down. The sellers or the offers are overwhelming the buyers and pushing the demand down, okay? And you can see the price of gold naturally falling. And there's where it broke down and closed below. And this was, early Friday, June 5th. So just recently, and that was a high impact news day. Every first Friday of a month is a NFP, non-farm payroll. And you can see gold dropped. The numbers were really good. If you guys remember back in June where they were really positive, and we dropped all the way down. Okay, we found a pivot right over here. So if I extend now with that zone closing below, it's a red zone now. So you can see now how that zone of support, which was holding all the way from the new year, was support until June 5th's NFP. Then we close below, and you can see now how that zone has now flipped red. And you can see when it came back into it, rejected, and continue to push down. We came back up, lower high. Have we traded back into that red zone? No, it's still there and it's still holding, okay? Now, I can start to see a little bit more. Here was that most recent pivot where we came down June 10. Okay, so let's draw a yellow line right there, right around 4,070. I'm just rounding it to the nearest whole number. And you can see we continue to come up right there when we came down. That's where we should have seen a double bottom, right? You know, there was the one bottom, V recovery, came back up. Here's where it came back down. So right there on this day, Wednesday, June 24, we should have seen a double bottom to come back up. What did we in fact see? I see a bearish engulfed candle that closed below, right? And that was a specific day, Wednesday, June 24. If you guys remember, that was FOMC, right? Those were the interest rates with our new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, and they continue to push down. So we have a closing volume. So that yellow line turns into resistance. Just like if it was a green line, if it was green, and then we get a bearish bar closing below, it would turn red, right? You know, I don't change the colors. I just know that the line with the volume below, it's resistance until we can close above. So it came back up. There's the resistance, push back down. But you can see it's developing another bottom right there, okay? See how it really consolidating and no volume continued to close below. It's a wick, a wick, a wick, a wick, and a wick. So right there, you've got the start of a little supporting double bottom, right? And there you can clearly see it. Like if I move this W right there, there's your double bottom, okay? And when we come back up, we can see it didn't break all the way through, right? So that's our highest point that we came up to now. So you can see now my yellow lines are getting a little tighter. They're consolidating this range. 4,175, a whole number, is our resistance. You can see we had a little impulse, but the volume closed below and continued to push down. Then it came down to this supporting line from back here. See how the same line holds true? And we just watched the volume. It came down impulsively. It didn't close down there. Closed right at the yellow line. We came back up. This was when I was off with you guys, okay? Thursday and then Friday. And then this was all last week where I didn't trade with you guys. Monday started very bearish, but look at where we came down to. Right back down to that green zone, okay? So you can see Monday was very bearish. Tuesday was very bullish, came up, back up, but it came right up to, remember, Monday also had a bearish ignited high right here, okay? And, you know, if you were to mark that on your chart as well, you know, that's a very important day that opened. It was a Monday, just like today is a Monday. And you can see when it came up bullish, 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 did the buyers do their job? Remember, every buyer and seller has a job to do, just like you and I have a job to do every day in the markets, right? The buyers came up, but they did not finish the job of breaking. So those sellers who basically sold last Monday, look at what they did. They came in and they set an offer, a lower high, and technically pushed Tuesday back down. See, there's the rejection, and it came back down and it closed right there. Then midweek, Wednesday, you can see it's a consolidating day. It opened, it was bearish, bearish, bearish. Sellers, did they do their job to continue to break the low of the previous day? No. Buyers came in with a little support, came in with a higher low, back and pushed it back up, but could not fill the previous wick. Lower high, came back down and closed as a bullish spin top. And the next day, Thursday, it opened bullish, did not fill those wicks, lower high. Then the sellers came in, controlled the market, and filled that low and closed right in the green box. Now we have Friday. Friday came down bearish again, but did not fill that wick right down there. So you can still see how we're still holding in that green zone, came back in the green zone. Friday came back up right about 50% of Thursday and closed right there. Now I'm seeing what's happened from the Friday and today's open. So now we're going more into over the weekend. There was some news over the weekend, right? And look at where we closed and look at where we opened. So they gapped the market all the way down to there, okay, where they opened it. So I'm just moving this yellow line to the opening price of today. I'm going to even write on it on here. I can write in the text. I'm going to put today's opening price. Okay, today's opening price. So it was We opened right here. Look at what the opening price was. 4,000 on the dot. Okay, so that's a very, very, very psychological number. It opened, like we closed 4,012 on Friday, and then the market gapped down and opened right at 4,000. Okay, and then it was originally bearish where it came down. It was black, black, black. But look, at 3,982, we've got our lowest point of the day so far. Okay, so I use a purple line to illustrate the lowest point of the day so far. This candle bar has not closed. We still have 10 hours to go, so it could come all the way back down bearish down here. But right now, looking at the lowest point of the day, it's still in that green zone. It's got a higher low, and we're continuing to push back up. So it came back up to the opening price. It flipped bullish. We came up to Friday's close. Okay, so Friday's close was a resistance, right? So let's mark it with a yellow line. And that could be now support if we ever come back down and revisit 4,012 and 13. Okay, so I can put on here, right on this yellow line. This was Friday's closing price. Okay, and if I know the volume is above it, then I know if it comes back down here, it could technically be support. Okay, let's continue to follow today's volume. Have the buyers done their job today? Well, right now it came back and it filled Friday's high and it pushed for a new higher high. But we're still well below this big bearish candle on Thursday. So far, we have a high of the day printed. So far, 4,030, purple line. Again, I can write on it. This is our high of the day. Again, I'm going to put in brackets so far because we still have 10 hours to go. So we could come right back up to the high of the day and make a new higher high of the day, but you still see that we do have some resistance. Okay, so also Friday's high is a point of interest in itself. Friday's high was the highest point of the day, which is a point of interest, and I can see we are trading basically right at it right now, 4,024.25 area, okay? So are we gonna continue to fill our wick and make, if we do, then we could break for a new high, but where could we go? Okay, so let's look above us. If we get back up to the highest point of the day, 4,030, and we continue to push up, where could we go? Technically, we could go back to Tuesday's close and Wednesday's open of last week. Let's put a line there. 4,051.52. So it's right at that exact psychological number, 4,050. Okay. So let's just write on it if you need to. If you want to write on it that this was Tuesday, Wednesday's open closing price, or if you just want to know that it is a daily point of interest, you can just utilize the yellow line. Okay. And then if it goes a little higher, right, you could come all the way back up to the big day on Thursday where the sellers opened, and then again filling your wicks back up. Okay, so we are still in a downtrend. Okay, but this could be a bigger double bottom. Okay, remember I showed you here was a little bit of a double bottom right there. Okay, but when we look at maybe a bigger picture, let's look at that whole second bottom as one bottom. What about if I showed it to you like this? This is all one bottom. Here's our big neckline up here, and coming down here, this could be the start this week of this second bottom. Do you guys see that one? Like that? That could be, if we get some news this week regarding the US dollar, and that's where we could see that push of gold up here. However, it could just continue to come up a little bit and more offers and continue to push the market down, and gold continues to sell off. Okay, so that's a lot of information on the daily, right? On the daily, but I haven't been here with you guys last week, so I kind of just want to get everyone caught up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the daily candle more into smaller hourly increments. So I'm going to go right on, click on the 1 hour, and I can see last week how it's been trading on the Monday was right there, very bearish. So, and then it came back up. I can see it come back up Tuesday on the hour. I can look at specific hours. I can see Wednesday how it was just consolidating in here. Thursday, there was a big sell at 8 a.m. Eastern. It pushed down. That's COMEX and some news maybe in the New York session. Then I can see Friday was big bearish candle at 8 a.m. and then 9 a.m. picked right back up, and then I can see how they closed it out. Okay, so we can now trade on the hourly, right? If we want to look for hourly moves, what I can see is this. Okay, and I'm going to ask you guys, Okay, you guys know I wasn't here with you guys on Friday, but my strategy, my style of trading works on all time frames. Okay, I've told you guys this over and over and over. I back tested this style of trading for you guys for over 20 years, right? And I can tell you guys, it does work. Not always, but look, is this the type of candle we look for when we're trading? Okay, that's a big bullish engulfed candle that kind of engulfed that big. That's a big structural candle, right? Sometimes I always say, did it close above all of these other ones? Well, sometimes you just look at that and you just cut it in half. Okay, that's a big bullish engulfed candle. So even if you just cut it in half, okay, and you can use a Fibonacci tool on any candle that's a big candle, whether it's bullish or bearish, okay, and just find exactly the halfway point. Okay, structural candles, you guys know what I do. I'll explain it if I see one, but this is, you could just simply do that. If you were just trading and you were just watching the markets, you could have seen 50% is like right here, almost where I have this purple line. It's today's lowest point of the day. So I can see at the futures market at 8 p.m., look at what happened here. This is like, now we're back testing. It was black, 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 and it came right into 50% of that big bullish volume Friday at 9 a.m. And look at what happened. It filled those orders and it got a wick right out of there and it was bullish. So if you were just looking for that and you patiently waited, you would have got a potential buy signal, alert, or trade right there and moving directly right into some profit. Okay. If you missed it, you missed it, right? That's trading, but there will be another opportunity. Okay. So since then, it came back up here, kind of pushed back down. I can see now 3 a.m. is London. 4 a.m. hit our highest point of the day, came back down, and then you can see how we're just trading 5, 6, and 7 a.m. Okay, so right now our hourly candles are trading again. Like if I was to consolidate this entire hourly zone, this is where we're trading right now. It's not really moving anywhere. It's not really trending anywhere. Just came up, back down. That's the gap down. That's where we closed on Friday. You see the big gap down where they opened it Sunday night. That was the big drop, and then it filled it right back up. We came back down and we went back up, and we could be coming right back down unless they're building something. Okay, so hourly is not really doing anything right now. You know, it's not the greatest volume to trade, but if we break it down a little further, right, do we see the hourly, this big black candle right here, Thursday at 8 a.m.? That was a massive candle. Okay, so if I see where it opened up here, and then I look at today's high and this daily yellow line right here, this is where we've got a zone. You can see there's just wicks in there, right there. Okay, so if I make it like a little red zone on the hourly right here, I can see we came into it, pushed back down. We came into it at 11 p.m., pushed back down. We came into it at midnight, pushed right back down. We came into it at 4 a.m., that's the highest point of the day, and then they pushed it right back down. You can see we're trading in it again right now as I'm speaking, with this hourly candle to close in 45 minutes. So are we going to see a bullish candle continue to fill these wicks and close above this highest point of the day and maybe travel a little higher up into here? Or are we going to start to see this maybe push back down? This could be a development of a potential hourly second top, where it came in one top right there. There's our support right there at today's opening price. And then coming back up on the hourly, we're right back in that red zone where, you know, we could technically see an M pattern coming down, pushing down. But when it comes down to this yellow line, that's Friday's closing price, which could be support on the hourly and maybe push it back up to try and break that. Okay, it could be maybe come back up, and it could be like a triple top, and then they really push it down. But then when we come down, we got to test today's opening price, because that could be support again. And then if it comes back in the green zone, you see the big rejection out of there. That's where it could be again support and go right through there. If we start to close below this, then guess what? Then we're selling back down to 3941 down in here. Okay, so man, I always say on these calls, I want good trading volume. I want good trending volume. You know, it makes it better for our calls, but sometimes we got to trade what the market is giving us, and this is what it's giving us currently right now. Okay, so we have to know if we're trading in here, we've got rejected, 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 and rejected. Okay, so there's a lot of offers here on the hourly starting at 10 p.m. of trading last night, okay? So if we go now into the smaller time frames, the 5 minutes, we can see now how the 5-minute candles, how they're reacting when they're coming into this hourly zone. So they came in here at 10:45, pushed back down. So you see that's a big bullish candle as well. If you cut it in half, like so, you would have maybe potentially had a little buy scalp out of there, okay? Just came down there right into the halfway point and pushed back up. I know it might not look like a lot of pips to you guys, but that's all the market is giving. And it's 60 to 70 pips, which is perfect for a scalp. That's what we're looking for. 20 pips, 30 pips, 50. If you get 70, that's a great scalp in 5, 10, maybe potentially 15 minutes. You don't do anything. It's trading in a red zone. Comes back down right there. Did the sellers break it down? No, it held. There's like a second bottom on the 5 minutes. Then when it came back up, traditionally it should break. It didn't. So then it just consolidated in here, and then that's where the sellers closed below. And then you see the red line from support turns to resistance, and there was the push down. Okay, and then you can kind of see when it came down to today's opening price, there's building a little bit of support off of it. Okay, I can see a wick and a wick coming right back up. There's where we hit the highest point of the day, was at 4:20 a.m. Eastern, and then it came back down, and this is what we're trading right now on the 5 minutes. This is absolutely the worst 5-minute volume that we can trade. Like, just look at it. It's not doing anything. It's not moving anywhere. There's no big structural candles to base anything off of. The only thing maybe I could base something off of is this big bearish candle. But again, if I was to cut it in half, I can see, look at it. That candle already came right into it and got rejected, and we're pushing right back down off of it at 4,026. Okay, so you can still see it's a very difficult zone. And this is on these calls where I'm going to get everyone say, Ron, are we buying? Are we selling? Ron, are we buying, selling? Do we buy or sell? What do we do? You know, like, the choice is yours. You can either buy or sell, or you can wait patiently to see if something happens in the market. Maybe we got to see a big bullish candle break through here, close above. Maybe we'll cut it in half. Maybe we'll see a big black candle push down. Maybe close below Friday's closing price. You know, like, who knows what could happen in here? The day is still young. It's only 7:20 a.m. Eastern. We're not even in COMEX. COMEX is in 1 hour from now. We don't have any high impact news today. It could be a slow moving day just like this, right? So, but you got to know that it could be one of those days. So, you know, you don't need to just force trades, right? You got to continue to be patient. You got to wait out for things to happen, okay? Unfortunately, I can't trade the volume, or I can't change the volume, but I can trade the volume. And I choose to trade better volume than this. So in the meantime, you can add some indicators on your chart, okay? We're right at the 9 EMA, this green line, okay? The 200 EMA is this purple line, which is coming maybe back up to Friday's closing price. So that's what I mean. Like, if I was looking to buy on this short time frame, maybe a better opportunity would be to see if it comes down and trades down to Friday's closing price, and we see if it will act as support, and then our 200 EMA is there. Maybe it comes down here, maybe it does something like that, and then shoots back up to here. So I would maybe place an alert here at this yellow line for right click, add an alert. So I've created it. I can add another alert at today's opening price down here. So I can add an alert, and I've created it. You can see there's yellow clocks everywhere. I can add another alert at right here, today's lowest price, right at that purple line. I can add an alert in there. If it gets down there, obviously the deeper I go into the depth of market, the better it is. It's better to buy down at 3,982 than it is to buy at 4,000 than it is to buy at 4,013. Okay, that's how trading works. A bigger discount, but it may never come down all the way down here. Like, this could be the support, that could be the support. But when it comes to each of these levels, I watch and see. And then I'm not looking for a moonshot. If I was to buy, if it comes down to, let's say, today's opening price down in here, then what I'm trying to do as a trader is take it from here back up to the next yellow line and determine what will happen there, right? And I measure from the yellow line to the yellow line, and that's approximately 125 pips. That could be, I'm well on my way to hitting my daily goal, right? Maybe some of you guys have a 300 pip daily goal. Okay, so that could be one trade that you take and you're halfway there. And then when it comes up there, it could get rejected back down. But if you're following that trade and it closes above, then it could traditionally make that yellow line support to take you back up to break that yellow and then get up to the next yellow line. Then you've got a much bigger trade than 125 pips. You've got a 250 pip trade, okay? Everybody is different, okay? So, it's not a cookie cutter approach, but everybody is different. Some traders have a 50 pip goal, right? Some have 100, some have a 200. Some of you guys have 1,000 pip goal. I don't know what it is, but obviously the ones with more of a pip goal, you need to look for bigger trades or take more trades. You might have to take 3 1 by 150 trades to get up to your 500 pip goal. I don't know what it is, but my goal is not 500 to 1,000 pips a day, okay? I like to maybe get 100 pips consecutively for days, for weeks. And then they add up, then they compound your account. Obviously, I don't win every single trade. I don't win every single day. I know how trading works. I'm not here to lie to you guys to say that I'm 100% always hitting profitable trades, always ending the day in the positive, always ending the week in positive, always end. No, it doesn't happen. There's days where I give back, but when I've been compounding my account for more than a week, more than a month, more than a year, more than 5 years, more than 10 years, I'm accumulating a lot of pips over time. So even if I lose 50, 100, maybe 200 this week, I'm not blowing up my account. I'm still playing with a compounded account profit. You guys got to understand, I've been trading for almost 20 years. I haven't been trading for 2 days, right? My account's been compounding for years and years and years, and I use it as a checking account. Let me say it like that. I use it as if I need to go to Jamaica for a week and it costs me $8,000, then I can withdraw $8,000 from that account, but it's been compounding for over 20 years, right? So I don't just always just make today's profit and take it out right away. I used to do that when I was just starting out trading. It was exciting doing that, but now I utilize my account as like as a checking account, basically, where it continues to compound. And if I need money, I can withdraw it and I have my money in 24 hours, just like you guys can do, okay? Whether you trade with a prop firm, if you do trade with a prop firm, make sure you understand their rules, right? You're trading their rules and their money. So you have to follow their rules. Some of you guys are using prop firms and then you guys are getting upset when something happens. Well, follow their rules, read their terms and agreements. Can you trade during high impact news? Can you do this? Can you do that? All of these things you got to understand, okay? Some of you guys might be trading your own money with a broker, and you have the freedom to choose what you trade, how you trade, where you trade. They don't care. The only thing that they care about is whether you're paying commissions and you're paying your spreads on certain securities, okay? And you can change that as well. If we're trading gold, I'm paying commissions here, and I have spreads. If I choose to trade Dow Jones over here, I eliminate trading with commissions, and I have fixed spreads. Okay, please stop spamming Black Moon, US200 EMA and see results. Okay, we're using a US2. Okay, sorry guys. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the spammers. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'll take care of this situation. Okay, I just came back from Jamaica. I'm very relaxed. I'm very, very relaxed. So I'm kind of not gonna let this get to me. I'm not going to lose the vibe that I got in Jamaica, but we do have to get rid of the spamming. Okay, it's gone. Now we focus back on trading. And some of you guys may be in a trade right now. Some of you guys I can see are selling and some of you guys are buying. Okay. Some of you have taken a long trade in gold and some of you guys are selling it, okay? That's how trading works. For every buyer, there's a seller. For every seller, there needs to be a buyer in order for a transaction to happen, okay? When you lose money, someone makes money. When you win, someone is losing money. That's how trading works. You know, we don't get participation points here. We don't get we don't get awarded for just being here, sitting, staring at a chart for 3-4 hours. And whether we take a trade or not, the market doesn't reward us. Okay, we're all here to obviously make money. We're all here to learn as well. Okay, but nothing is guaranteed, right? Nadine, what about the candle from Thursday? Did it not break the double bottom the last week in June? Okay, so if we go to daily, Thursday, right here, okay, question is, did it not break the double bottom from last week in June? Yeah, well, we are trending down, so it did come back down, but you see that lower low right there, June 30th, it didn't break it, okay? Well, it didn't take out the low. It closed right down in there, but you see even on Friday when it opened bearish, did it continue to fill Tuesday, June 30th wick? The answer is no. So it came back with a higher low, and this is where we're building. So no, technically it did not break June's low. So even if you go to the monthly, when you look at the monthly candles, I can see now all of June has closed. There's June's low right there. And then I can see July, how we came down so far. Remember, July hasn't closed. We're 11 days away and 10 hours away. And look at it was originally really bullish at the start of July, and they've rejected it back down. So we're almost coming back down to the opening price of July right here. We're not too far away from it. And July could flip bearish and then continue to fill the wick. And then that's how close it is to breaking. And then if we break, you know, we have nothing below us. And then I would mark this up. This is where was September close going into October of 2025. Okay, but if you really wanted to do a good analysis, that's your next monthly pivot point. You know, you can place like whatever color you want. If it was yellow right there, that's an interesting point because you can see if we break, we could continue to fill black, and gold could get down to 3,857 right around there. And maybe we're trading down in there, okay? But you see, it did not break. The sellers have not filled there and done their job. The monthly sellers have not done their job yet, but this candle on the monthly still has 12 days to go, okay? And then we'll see what happens in August. So right now it's holding that volume. When we look on the daily, this is where it's still building at this level, and there's that wick. All it has to do is break right there, okay? So Nadine, hopefully I answered that question to what you were asking, but it's still technically, I always use that word, it's still technically holding, okay? I don't like guessing in trading. I'm a very technical trader. Some traders love or hate that about me, but I'm not doing this for love or hate for you guys. I just do what I do, okay? I follow technicals of trading. Okay, now we have a big bullish 5-minute candle opening 7:30. Okay, very bullish, trading right at today's highest point, the purple line. So let's see now, will it make a new higher high? Will it close above? Will this be a structural big bullish candle that closes? Can we follow 50% of this? Wow. Okay, so that broke for a new daily high. Okay, so gold is obviously still bullish. This could be an impulse. Who knows what it is? What's causing this? There could be some news right now regarding this. Let's take a look over here at 7:30. Did anything happen over here? This is financial juice. Maybe it's not 100% like with live news right away, but normally we get a lot of remarks of everybody. The last news was 7:21. Andy Burnham becomes the UK Prime Minister. Okay, so that just came out 10 minutes ago. 6 a.m., 6:19, UK's Prime Minister Starmer about to visit the King and offer my resignation. So UK's Starmer, Burnham has my full support. Okay, so UK, you guys have a new Prime Minister. I know Starmer wasn't the greatest. We don't have the greatest Prime Minister over here either. But maybe this could be what's affecting the news right now. I don't know, okay? But there is some news in the market. Maybe Donald Trump farted this morning. Who knows? Maybe he just got up and he farted. That's enough to move the markets as well. Karina, thank you for that. Okay, that's some big news. Senior Iranian source: mediators have proposed a 10-day cessation of strikes to find ways to revive the Iran-US interim deal. Okay, that's news. Do I believe that that there's going to be nothing going on for 10 days? Highly unlikely, but that's enough to start a bullish 5-minute candle just like that. Okay, we're at the halfway point. It's closing in 2.5 minutes. Okay, so all I do is I follow the volume. Okay, if this is a big bullish candle like this, then I see it closed above the highest point of the day. That's a structural candle. It's much larger than all of these consolidated candles. It could technically close above all of this. And then that's a candle I like to find the point of control of. I'll grab my Fibonacci tool from the open close. I'll measure it. I'll find the halfway point, and then I'll find that nice little sweet spot, that point of control. And I could wait for it to come back in and maybe look to buy a pullback off of it, okay? Also, this could be a fake out at the highest point of the day. So there's a lot of things to consider and look for up here. Yeah, can it be a sweep of liquidity and now we'll be a good short? Absolutely. It could sweep the high, come back in here, trade in here. If it doesn't hold that point of control, then we could be selling right back down. That's a viable option. That could happen, right? But to just guess that it's going to happen and take a sell right now, probably not the best thing. Okay, so we got to continue to watch how this body will close, where it will close. Can we find anything off of it? Okay, so I like that this candle is happening. Okay, because then we can follow this volume together, right? Some of you guys maybe were in a sell prior to this candle happening, and maybe hit your stop loss. Maybe you're in drawdown. Maybe you're panicking right now, but you know, you can't control this, right? There's nothing, but you can control your risk. I always say that. I skipped your most important question for today, Yanner. Well, I know I'm trying to look here at all the questions, but when you have that spammer, it kind of bypassed everything. So I don't even see your question. Maybe you got to ask it again. See, I don't even see it. You wish you could be as calm as me in trading. You can't sit still. Yeah, I can't teach anything about that. Just, you know. Okay, anyways, this is a big bullish candle. It broke the highest point of the day and closed all above this structure. Okay, so first thing that I do with that candle is I grab my Fibonacci. Okay, I go from the opening price of it when it opened at 730 all the way to the closing price of 735. I look, where's 50% right there. Okay, there's the 50%, 4,029 and 50 cents. Do I see a point of control? Well, we know 618382 is the golden zone right there. So this is going to be a green zone within a red zone. I know it's going to be very confusing to some of you, but you can see if we retrace, see that big black candle, it opened, did it fill its wick and continue go? No, now it's coming right back down, right into the green point of control. So now it's holding support, okay? So this is where it could bounce. This is where it could come down and go right back up, right? Or it could continue to come down and, like we said, close below and maybe be a fake out and then continue to drop down. So some buyers, if you're looking for a pullback buy, you're getting it, or you can just continue to wait and see what is happening here, okay? So there's the first pullback, right? This big, remember, this was an hourly red zone. With that 5-minute candle that closed above, now this could be an hourly green zone. Okay, and then just this green box is that bullish candle right in here. I know it could be confusing to some. Maybe I could even move that back. And then this is what we're watching right here, okay? So I'm going to look at my spreads, okay, to see if I'm going to maybe potentially look for a trade. I want to see what my spread are at. Okay, 0.5, I like being in there. Just make sure I change my appropriate lot sizing, because maybe I took a few scalps in Jamaica here, and I have it set up still from there. So you know, you got to ask yourself, are you going to go in a full lot size? Are you going in a quarter lot size? Are you going in a tenth of a lot size? Are you doing a feeler trade? What are you doing? Are you risking your entire account on the next trade? I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that. Do you have some sort of trade management? Do you, like, I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys have? I do. I know that Dave does. I do. I know some of the snipers do in the group, but I'm asking you guys, do you have some sort of trade management? Like when I say, if you're going to trade today, do you already know how much you're risking of your prop firm account, of your real account, of your own money? I know how much I'm doing. I risk 1% of my entire account every single day, okay? But doesn't mean I have to apply that 1% all on this one trade right now and then hope for the best. What I can do is, let's say today I'm going to choose to take 4 trades today, okay? This could be one of the 4 trades. So then I take the 1%, I do some easy math, divided by 4. So then this trade could be 0.25% of my 1% today. So that gives me 4 trades. Maybe I go 4 strikes, you know, even more in a baseball game. Baseball game gives you 3 strikes. Maybe in this, I get 4 strikes. And every single trade I take today, I'm not reading the market right, and it's loss, 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 loss. That's a shitty day. That's a really bad day. 4 trades and you take all losses, okay? That's going to require some review, some journaling, studying what's going on. But at the end of the day, I've lost 1%. Okay, I haven't lost 100% of my account. I haven't lost 50% of my account. I haven't lost even 10% of my account. I've lost 1%. So that can be made up the following day or during the week. But that's how I need some of you guys to look at your trading, because some of you guys are trading way over leveraged, and you're just consistently blowing up accounts and losing a lot of money. And you're not giving yourself any wiggle room to get back in and learn from your mistakes. Okay, so I can see right now that big black candle came exactly right into 50%, and there is some buying because I can see a rejection. Okay, it's closing in 30 seconds. Where will it close? How will it close? So the initial pullback right there, if you were just scalping off of 50% of that big blue candle and you got filled, you're up about 40 pips, okay? And that could be, that's all you're looking for on a scalp. But if you're holding the trade, you got to wait for the body to close. How will it close? Where will it close? But that's how I'm just saying 50% retracement, how it works, okay? And which candle to base that off of. So hopefully I explain that properly to everybody, okay? So it's still a bearish candle that closed right there. It's still holding above 50%, so we might consolidate here now. Maybe it will come back down and start another move coming back up. Maybe now when it comes in, this is not a bearish structural candle, but it is a bearish candle. So even if you cut that bearish candle in half, for this blue candle, it's got to go blue, blue, blue and test 50% of that volume. Maybe it will go back up. Then we got an engulfing pattern, like a flag, where it goes blue, black, and then come back up blue, and then fill those wicks and continue to go. And maybe we're testing this 4,050, this daily point of interest. But it could technically come back down and then test down in here. And then you see where we're consolidating. At this neckline, the 9 EMA is coming right back into that green box, and we'll see if it can continue to hold in here. Guys, thank you guys. We have 600 viewers on YouTube. If you guys can take 10 seconds out and like the video, we do appreciate it. Like the stream, it helps boost the channel. If you guys can subscribe if you're new here, we do appreciate it. And hopefully we can continue to learn together. Okay, so now it opened blue. Okay, did it come up to 50%? No, so far. Now it's bearish coming down. Now the sellers are continuing to try and fill that wick, but at this important point of control level. So we're going to see what will happen here, okay? And it could consolidate in here, go back up. Okay, so it came back down, and now it's coming back up to the opening price of this candle at 740, and we're seeing it holding in here. Has anybody been to Jamaica before here? Have any of you guys been to Jamaica? If you haven't, I highly recommend maybe you look into it and visit there. There was a lot of British there, a lot of UK there. They were telling me it's a 9-hour flight from the UK, but there was a lot of British. I was there for the England-Argentina game, so you can imagine there was tons of Argentinian fans there and English fans. So it was awesome to watch both of them. England screwed up that game big time. I don't know why the coach went defensive the last 30 minutes. Boggles my mind, but I'm not the coach of England. That's not what I would have done. I would have kept my foot on the pedal that entire game. You're playing Argentina. They can score at will. Oh, the mopeds are wild time in Jamaica. Yeah, we went on the Doom buggies. Alex, it was very good. Several times. Dale, nice. Tony, Ocho Rios, yeah, a lifetime ago. You got to get back there. Yeah, you won't recognize it now. It's changed. It's changed completely. The people there are amazing. The people of Jamaica, and I'm not just saying like on the resort, like the people that work there, they are amazing. But I go off the resort, I go into Jamaica. Like I went to St. Mary's, I went to Rick's Cafe, I went to Negril. I go into and I go to the local restaurants. You know, I like that when I travel. I don't just like to stay on resorts. I like to go out and see what the real Jamaica is all about. And the people there are unbelievable. Very, very nice people. And I like the way how they move in life. Just take it one candle at a time. And taking it like in trading language. Just one candle at a time. Absolutely no stress. The weather was beautiful. The Dunes Falls, if no one's ever been there before, the Dunes River Falls, that was really nice. It was nice to see my kids scale up those. I thought it was really dangerous, but you know, they did it. Am I in a trade? Not yet. No, but we're looking here. We're looking. We're in this consolidated right here. We're just in this small. I know it's going to be a lot of zones here, but I just want to show this. That is just kind of consolidating right here. So definitely we can see something is developing here, that it could hold inside here and continue to go back up. Or we could see it start breaking down, and maybe that big candle could be potentially a fake out of the highest point of the day, okay? So we got to see now a black candle coming down, filling those wicks, still trading the green box. Maybe get down to the 90 MA, find a wick and support and come back up. Maybe this black candle will come down and close below, and we'll flip this zone back to red, and then we're coming down, and you know, we could be filling back that big blue candle. Right? This is a gentleman in YouTube said, it could be a fake out of the highest point of the day. And technically, he is correct. Or it could just, you know, be still trading in that point of control and then reverse back up and continue being bullish. And then it is not breaking down. And then we maybe have to continue to buy with this. Okay? So you guys see how it's developing. I'm not moving the candle. I'm not changing it, right? I'm just seeing what's happening here. So the sellers have filled that wick. Okay, so they've created a lower low, and it's very from the top. It's got a lower high, lower high, lower high, still pushing down. Okay, so it's still trading in that point of control of that big bullish candle that we just seen print at 7:30. So we're gonna see, will it pick up pending orders? Will it come back up, close above? And we still see it's still hanging on to this green zone, still above the 9 EMA, still above the point of control, and then maybe it will start its next leg going through here. Okay, could be bearish, coming still down. And we're moving into 8 a.m. in the next 12 minutes. So we have a new hourly candle coming up very, very soon as well. You know, if we don't choose to trade this, right, we can take a peek at the hourly and see what's happening. So look at the hourly candle with 12 minutes to go. So like what that gentleman was saying, it could be a clear hourly fake out coming through the highest point of the day, and they've rejected it down, and then it could sell back down, going down at 8 a.m. into COMEX. Okay, that's a viable path as well. Okay, so but we're watching it here on these 5 minutes. Okay, and now we're trading right at that bottom of the point of control, right at the 9 EMA. Okay, so we still have a minute and 40 seconds to go on this candle. Okay, so this could be a fake out move or the start of a nice clear double top. Okay, where that's why trading, you got to be patient, you got to see what's going on. It came up, coming back down. Let's say it comes back up, then it could be like a second top, then the big M, and an 8 a.m. and then the drop. Okay, and then we know it's a fake out of the highest point of the day. Now that's a bearish candle coming all the way back down. Let's see where it will close. If it closes below this little green zone, I'm going to flip it red, because then the sellers are in control of the point of control. They've inverted it. Did you guys see Trump's social? He's he's put it out there that to get real-time updates, $100,000 for a month, and he will give you real-time tweets before he tweets them about trading and about potential stock picks. I am not kidding. I'm not. I would love if I was making this up. I am not making it up. This is showing the corruption right in your face. Right in your face. And it's a playground for the elite. Not everyone has $100,000 laying around, but I'm sure some billionaires do. And he could literally move the markets. And he has. He's made $250 million last quarter on just stock trading. And he's telling you outright, he doesn't hide it, okay? There's no shame in his game. He's saying if we can do it, he can do it. Why not? Okay, so you see what I did there? See that green zone? Now it's red. Why? Because that black candle closed below, okay? So now that point of control, that 5-minute big bullish candle is not holding. Now we're below it, okay? So now we're going to find out where the true neckline is, okay? Will it be down here at this yellow line? Will it come back up, okay? So we're still following this. I know I'm not in a trade right now. So some of you guys are saying, Ron, are we buying? Are we selling? Ron, are we buying or are we selling? You can buy or sell. I'm still watching, observing what's happening here. Okay, so you see, like, look at that big bullish candle. Like if we measure it, you know, some of you guys maybe were in a buy. I'm measuring the entire range of that candle from the bottom of the wick to the top of the wick. That was almost a 200 pip candle, okay? 190 pip candle. And you see, if you don't do anything, sometimes the market can retrace all the way back down, right? It happens. You guys have seen it at me trading on these calls as well. Sometimes I'll go up 50 pips, 100 pips, sometimes 150. And if I don't do anything, sometimes it will come all the way right back down, okay? It might hit your break even. It might even hit a stop loss. You know, it might hold there and go back up, and we see it, you know, you see your profits go up, they come back down, and then they go right back up, okay? It happens. But some traders, they get in on that candle, they're in, they scale out, they do some or risk management, they bring their stop loss break even. I like to take partials, maybe it's not part of your plan, but that's how I trade. Okay. So I have a habit of taking out partials. Like if I was in on a buy on that candle, I definitely would have maybe closed out at least 80% and left 20% running with a break even. Because it's happened to me a lot of times where it's gone up and I don't do anything because I want more than 200 pips. I want 300, I want 400, and then the market just retraces right back down. Okay. And then it's a lesson to learn. Say, you left money on the table. Literally, you left money on the table. And all you had to do was click a button. But our mind takes over. Our mind gets greedy. Our mind says, we want more. We want more. We want more. I want more as well in trading. But I learned over time, I was leaving too much on the table. And in simple mathematics, I added up how much I was leaving on the table, and it was a trip to Jamaica. I'm not lying to you. It was a plane ticket to Jamaica. I was leaving on the table from hitting a button. So I've learned over time to hit a button and close partials. And those hitting that button can earn me a vacation at the end of the year, just like it can for you. But you got to learn that mindset. If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. Then continue trading the way how you trade. Whether it's going to be a full TP, whether it's going to be a stop loss, you set it and you forget it. Some traders trade like that. I've had one-on-ones with them, and they told me, Ron, this is my style of trading. I set it where I have a TP and I have a stop loss, and I let it go. I don't go to break evens, Ron. I don't go taking partials. It is what it is, and that's what they do. It's fine, but at least they stay consistent with it. Okay, and at the end of the day, they have to journal their results. Maybe it's working, maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they're the judge of it, not me. Okay, guys, let's just take a look over here. We got a gold signal coming out here. Let's just take a look here. Okay, so this is gold right over here, coming out just 5 minutes ago. Looking for a long on gold at 4,022. Okay. So the 5-minute chart of gold displays a series of higher lows forming after the 1900 UTC dip, with the most recent candles closing near session highs around 4,022. Price action shows recovery from the 4,000 area, with the blue candles dominating the right side of the visible. So a trade setup, a bullish entry around current 4,022 level with targets. So 4,022 is just below this yellow line, potentially, right where that big bullish candle started at 7:30 if we get a retracement down there. But it could hold in here and not come down to 4,022 and continue to build inside here. Okay, so we could be watching this right over here, and could be watching that for maybe a potential buy opportunity. How do you take partials if the move was that fast? Well, that gave you enough time. That's a 5-minute candle, and then it kind of hung around here. So you had enough time. And again, it's different with brokers depending on execution speeds. I'm not speaking on your broker. I don't know who you trade with. But if speaking on how to take partials, when a trade, let's say, for example, okay, to use one standard number so everyone is just on the same page. Let's say we all trade with a standard size, okay, a 1.0 across the board on all brokers, okay? I'm just teaching you. So if you were to do that, when you take, let's say you took a buy, you were in a buy and you get that big bullish move and you're in the money, okay? And you want to take partials. So just when you go to your MT4, MT5 platform, if that's what you're using or whatever, you're in a position of a 1.0. For example, okay? And then you determine how much you want to take out. Let's say you want to take out 50%. You don't want to take out 80%. Let's say 50%. You want to take out half and leave half running. Well, you go to modify. So while my trade is in the profit, I'm already on my modify screen, whether you're doing your mobile or your computer MT trading, whatever it is, your desktop or MT mobile. I'm a mobile trader. So I'm already at my modify screen, and where it's at 1.0, I'm already modifying it to 0.5. So I'm already plugging in the numbers while the candle is very bullish. And then once it reaches a desired location where it gets up to a certain point, let's say 100 pips, 150, 200 pips, all I have to do is I've already have it in modify where it's a 0.5, and all I got to do is just close the position, just hit the next button. And then once it closes, it automatically will close out 50% and leave you with 50% running, okay? But with that 50% runner, you also have to do something if there's still your open stop loss on that, unless you've moved it already, the trade to a break even. So it might be a two-step phase that you might need to do to get your runner back to break even. Otherwise, you still have your stop loss open unless you did it when the candle was moving up. Originally, you went to break even. Now your whole trade is at break even, and then you modify it to take out 50%. You close it, then it will leave your remaining 50% with break even. Okay. Majority of people aren't profitable. You can't partial nothing. Speak for yourself. I'm a profitable trader, and I take partials. Why would you not? Okay, my question is, you're in the money. We trade to make money. Why would you not want to take some money out? Is my question to you. If you want to have that stubborn mindset, that's on you. Okay, I take partials. I'm not doing it to be an asshole or this or that, but I take partials, and I'm a profitable trader. Okay, if you don't, that's on you. Okay. Some traders tell me, Ron, I don't take partials. That's fine. Then don't take partials. Then you have to wait for your entire trade to hit your complete target. That's fine. But you got to understand too, then are you leaving an open stop loss for the market to come down and hit your stop loss? Then you're taking full losses. Now you're losing money. I'd rather take a little bit of money in my pocket than lose money. Okay? I don't know. I trade to make money. I don't just trade to watch charts all day. I trade to make money. Don't always have to hit a full daily goal, but I can take partials along the way. Just imagine right here, this example, this big bullish candle and this consolidated range, right? If you were in a buy from down, let's say halfway in this range, and you got that big candle, you just went up 200 pips and you don't do nothing. Let's say, for example, you don't do nothing. You didn't take any partials. Now, the trade has retraced down from there where you could have potentially took out 200 pips out of the market. Now it's coming back down where it's 160 pips. So you're only up 40 pips right now, okay? But you're still up, and it could technically go back up and go up 200, 300 pips, and then you're going to say, Ron, you see, that's why I held. Okay, that's fine. I understand. But the other flip of the coin is, what happens if it comes in, it engulfs all this, and then you're left with nothing, and you just pissed away right there, 200 pips. You're seeing it live, not me. But it's your choice, okay? I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you options. I want to teach traders the option of taking partials. If you don't agree with it, then don't do it. I don't give a shit. Doesn't affect my life. I just want you guys to understand that. It was so nice teaching Jamaicans how to trade. I set up a little station down there. I was doing my own trading, and by the jerk chicken station when I was waiting, I was on my mobile. A lot of them understand trading down there in Jamaica, and they were watching me and they said, Ron, can you just teach me this real quick? I said, sure. Grab a chair, come around me. And I was teaching them this. And they're like, can you do a screen mirror on the computer here where the DJ was? And we had it on the screen down there. And then an audience came, and it was like trading live in front of 50 people, then 100 people. And it was pretty cool. And that was my first time ever doing that in person. And I kind of enjoyed it. And they had questions, and it was fun, right? And it was just whether they buy, sell, take partials, don't, it's none of my business. But my business is to introduce them to the world of trading. And they enjoyed it. And they were really chill about it. And, they didn't stress me out. And it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it. Okay, so now what do we see? You see the whole move. Look, they even took out the lows. So now that is a complete fake out so far of the highest point of the day. So let's extend these zones into the future and look at it now. So again, if you didn't take any partials, say goodbye to over 200 pips, okay? Maybe it's part of your plan. Okay, that's fine. That's part of your plan, but you got to live with it. If I was in that trade, I would have taken some money out because I know that this shit can happen. I'm not stubborn like that. And then there's somebody that says in the chat, now it went down 150 pips, and I'm glad that I took out partials. So you see what I mean? It works for some people. It doesn't work for others. It's just, you got to pick what works best for you. And look at that now. So if you didn't take out anything, now look at it. Holy shit. We're right back down to Friday's closing price. Okay. Remember, we had a signal at 4,022. It just bypassed that right now. Okay. So we're below it now. Now we got to see these levels. Okay. Is this going to be a big structural bearish candle? Look at it. It's pushing down, engulfing everything. It might close. This red line right here might be the cutting point of this big bearish candle. Okay. So now the market has flipped bearish right now. And you see how it can change? That was a fake out. Okay. That candle at 7:30 sucked in all those buyers. Hopefully you took partials, because if you didn't, now it's coming after your stop loss. So a lot of stop losses are right below this low down in here. Okay. Now let's see what happens. This candle is closing in 90 seconds. This is 8 a.m. now. So this is a new hourly candle. So when we now look at our hourly close, look at it. That hourly candle came right through there, grabbed that much liquidity, did not continue to fill those hourly wicks, got rejected down, and now we just opened bearish ignited on this hour, coming all the way down, right to Friday's closing price, acting as support right now. Back on these 5 minutes, we're trading right at it, okay? It could close below it, and then Friday's closing price is the resistance to continue to push down. And you see what I mean? Why partials can help your account. And I'm going to change the way. I think Jamaica refreshed me, okay? I'm going to be more chill on these calls. If you don't take partials and you want to argue with me, good, that's on you. I'm not here to convince you to take them or not to take them. I'm here to help you, showed you there's some options in trading. Whether you want to do it or not, journal and see. Add up the numbers yourself. Add up how much money you've left on the table last week, how much you left on the table last month, where you could have just literally hit a button, and money talks more than I talk. When you see you're leaving $100 on the table, maybe $1,000 on the table, maybe some of you guys $5,000 on the table. Okay, that's money. Okay, here we go into the close. Is this a bear structural candle now? Let's see. Okay, so my question to you is, did we close below those bodies? Yes, okay? So did it close below Friday's closing price? Not yet, okay? But that's still a structural candle. So you see the halfway point? I guarantee you it's going to be right around that yellow line. That yellow line came from somewhere. It was something before, okay? It was those two wicks right there. Now, opening, bearish, ignited, closing. Look at 50% is exactly that red line. So now this red zone, our point of control is right there now, okay? So in order to buy, we got to get back and close above this bearish point of control, like to get a confirmation. It needs to come back up blue, 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 close above, maybe retest this, then maybe we can trade back up to the highest point of the day, okay? But right now, it could come up blue, 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 get rejected down there, and continue pushing down, okay? So right now, we have the blue body being formed, coming back up. Welcome to Trading Monday. You know, it's Monday. There's not much news going on, but COMEX is going to open in 14 minutes. Again, is there any breaking news or anything going on news-wise? We can definitely check the feed over here. It's got a lot to do with, okay, so right over here, just before, mediators proposed that Iran and US return to pre-July 9th positions on Trade Talk. Burnham is the new UK Prime Minister. We need to show the world we can regain Britain's stability. We will introduce a new political model, a new economic model. I will bring forward a new 10-year plan for Britain this year. I will make clear to Zelensky today that there will be no change in support for Ukraine. And then we have the Houthis, the Houthis are in Yemen, announces a sea navigation ban on Saudi Arabia. Okay, so all of this is now news. So it came up blue, blue, blue. Did not come into that zone there. Got rejected. We got a shooting star candle that could break and continue dropping even further down. Or consolidate here at Friday's closing price, could be minor support to see if it holds. So maybe we're going to get now a flag forming right in here now. Price is going to go back up. Let's see if it bounces. We're at the 200 EMA. We're at today's, Friday's closing price, which could be support. Okay. It's still in a bullish format where we have a lowest point of the day. We have a higher low right there at just before 10 p.m. We have a higher low here at the London market right there. That's London, 3 a.m. And then we have a higher low forming right here. So it could come down bearish and maybe sweep London's low at today's opening price. Okay, remember what I was saying when it was coming down? This yellow line was maybe a potential buying opportunity, but it just bypassed that and closed below. This yellow line is a depth of market. It could be a potential buying opportunity, but again, down in here could be a better opportunity, right? If we can sweep London's lows and then grab some liquidity, then maybe it bounces back up. But maybe it doesn't get down there right now. Maybe it's holding right here, building some support, and then we'll see it come back up. But if it comes back up, we still have to get above this red box because it could just come in there and then they continue pushing it down, okay? And then if you continue to buy, then they'll push you in drawdown, okay? So we gotta, maybe see what's going on. And again, we're 10 minutes away from COMEX. So let's just watch the development going into COMEX too, okay? Kyle, take a look at the daily candle for gold. Oh, sorry, yeah, I didn't even add the SST daily indicator. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Let's put it on the daily. Okay, so this is the hour. 8 a.m. started bearish. Let's throw it on the daily. Okay, so this is our daily candle. Remember, we have an opening gap down price where it opened, came all the way down originally bearish, then it came back to the opening price. We had that big bullish move. It was basically that 5-minute candle right there at 7:30 that created basically today's wick that we broke that high. And since then, this downtrend that we're seeing on the 5 minutes is the wick coming down, okay? So we are trading right at Friday's closing price, this yellow line, which we're seeing if it will hold as momentary support. If we break, then we're coming back down to today's opening balance. So this is all the blue volume we have left in today's daily candle right here, which is still considered to be bullish, still considered higher lows on the lower time frame. So even if we're buying, we're still buying with the daily trend, but some bearish action just happened when they took out the high of the day. We'll also do US30 as well. Look at US30, okay? So 7:30 news. Again, if you were trading US30, if you're trading the Dow, up here too, what goes up can come down, okay? If you cut that candle in half or found the point of control of it when it came down there, didn't find the support and continue pushing down. So Dow could now look to take out these lows, 52,250, right? So same thing. What happens in Dow? Just like any other security. We'll come to the Dow Jones in after COMEX, after 8:30. We got a lot of time on today's call. Then we'll do a nice clean top-down analysis and we'll get ready for Dow for Wall Street, okay? This week, guys, just so you know, I'm going to be doing gold and Dow Jones, okay? Gold and Dow Jones this entire week. Those two securities. If we have time, we'll also check US oil. Frozy, we'll check US oil if we have some time, okay? Even if I just do an analysis for you guys and I share the chart with you guys, we can do that as well. Maybe we can do a nice analysis on oil as well. I'll bring up US oil on our charts, okay? Okay, you see, we maybe have a bear flag forming and it wants to maybe drop even further. So if it breaks, you know, structure from yellow to yellow and you get an additional drop, the additional drop could be another 125 pips down, okay? So if you're in a sell, that's fantastic. But if you're in a buy, you'll also have to acknowledge that could put you in 125 pips of further drawdown. So the gentleman on YouTube was correct with the analysis. Sweep the high of the day and go down. So you see how it swept the high of the day. And when it came back down to the point of control, it kind of held for 10 minutes, but didn't hold up to continue go. And then the sellers closed below and continue pushing it down. And there's the results of that. So that's a good observation, right? And if you were bullish on it and you wanted it to go higher and higher and higher, you can see it didn't respect the point of control of that big blue candle. Whatever caused that, whether it was news or just some unusual volume, you see it didn't get respected. And then the sellers continue to close below, engulf it, close below. There's the structural bearish candle that closed below, and you can still see that the sellers are continuing to push it down. Okay, so we're losing Friday's support right here, this yellow line currently right now. Will it just come down here and get a wick and go back up? Time will tell. Nice, scalper. You had a nice sell off the level. Good. Nadine, so annoying, just grabbing liquidity on both sides. Yeah, I was just gonna say it, Mark. Same words you just said. That's the nature of this game, you know. So you have to understand that that's how it works, right? They can take out the liquidity, buy side liquidity, take out sell side liquidity, consolidate it sideways for a little bit. Trading can get very frustrating. It can get absolutely very frustrating, and it can cause us to take silly trades, trade without risk management, revenge trade, get upset, you know. But these are all things that you can't let the market get to you. You can't trade upset. You can't get mad. You know, you just got to understand this is the nature of the game, especially in trading Donald Trump's market right now. We're under his presidency, and you guys see how crazy this entire year of 2026 has been trading, okay? Not just starting today or last week or last month. It's been like this for a long time now, almost 2 years, right? So I feel if you are a beginner trader and this is your first week learning how to trade, man, I like normally you want to learn in a very normal trading environment. This is very, very erratic, okay? So if you're a beginner, please trade with a demo account, practice with small sizing before you get the hang of this. Because it's not easy, even for the experienced. Gold is trading like a meme coin? Yeah, potentially. Gold is a very, very, very difficult instrument to trade. It's not easy. That's awesome, Keith. Yeah, I'm just gonna read what you just said, Keith, just so everyone can hear it. You started with a small prop firms as a beginner and they helped you with discipline. Perfect. See how you started small and it helped you with discipline? Now you have the experience maybe to go with a larger prop firm or trade a larger size, but now you have the discipline. But you see how you learned it? You learned it with a smaller prop firm, smaller account, smaller sizing. That's what a lot of traders fail to do. They always start with bigger prop firms. They always think bigger is better. I gotta buy a $200,000 prop firm. I gotta trade with the big macro sizing. I gotta trade with the big lots. And one little mistake could be explosive to your account and just cause you to blow it up. And then you're not necessarily a bad trader. You're not understanding risk management. Okay. Maybe you're really good at understanding a top down analysis and understanding candlesticks and price action, but you're lacking the risk management. You're lacking the trade management side. Okay. Trading is not just technicals. I want to make that clear to everybody. You guys probably know more about candlesticks than me. You guys probably have more knowledge in price action than me. That's fine, but I might be a little bit better than you in risk management side. Someone might be better at risk management and now learning price action. Okay. But there's also a lot of other factors in trading. Okay. It's not just price action and risk management. You also have to understand how to overcome emotions when you're trading, how to keep your cool when you're losing and when you're winning, how to, if you hit your daily goal, to be disciplined enough to stop trading. Okay. That's another thing. We've got a lot of good traders in our group who understand technicals, understand risk management, and they hit their daily goals, but they just can't get out of the markets. They just can't stop trading. And then they have a really profitable day and week, and then they just haven't learned how to stop trading, and then they give it all back to the market and lose it. And that's my last few one-on-ones. What I've been trying to explain to the guys in the group is, you guys are amazing traders, but you're lacking the discipline to stop trading, right? Why do we trade? We trade to hit our daily goal, make some money, and then when we do, that's it. Your day at work is over. You got to clock in and clock out. I treat trading like in my job. I treat trading like work. I clock in and I clock out. I don't treat it like a casino. I get in, I clock in with you guys. Hopefully I make my daily goal and I clock out. Okay. If it's with you guys or without you guys, it's my same mindset. Sometimes I trade without you guys and I lose or I hit my daily goal, but it's the same thing. Get my money and get out. If it's a losing day, it's the same thing. I come in, I clock in. If it's a losing day, I clock out, I review, I wrap it up, and I come back the next day. Just like you go to work. Some days you go to work, you have a shitty day at work, and you have a good day at work. Trading is work. Trading is hard work. Trading is not easy, That's why I don't like to show. Someone says, well, Ron, why didn't you show us that you were trading in Jamaica? Well, because I don't want to show that side and make it look like, yeah, you can just go to Jamaica and just start trading and make money. But one thing I'll tell you, when you learn this skill, you can trade anywhere around the world. Like I'm living proof of that. All I need is a mobile, okay? A mobile and with Wi-Fi, and I can trade anywhere around this planet. I can come to your home, I can come to your country, I can come wherever. And I have learned this skill, this financial skill, I can take with me anywhere around the world. That's where trading is a game changer for a lot of people. If you don't have a mobile, maybe you have a laptop, maybe you have a computer, okay? I'm sure you can go anywhere in a country. You can even go to a library and you can log in and you have a computer there. And I'm sure you can bring up some charts and start trading. Someone said to me, well, Ron, what if technology doesn't exist anymore? What happens if there's no more internet? Okay, then we got bigger things to worry about. Then I can't be trading, but then we got bigger things to worry about. Okay, so we're still moving down bearish. Okay, so maybe we're going to get down. We got to watch. What are they going to do? This is COMEX now, 820, opening up. So are they going to target? These are London lows. There's the London market, 3 a.m. Okay, and it's right at our opening balance. So from London's support right there, I'm just drawing a green box right there, and I'm bringing it into, you can see it's today's opening price and London's support. So is this black volume going to come down and test London's support, potentially break it, maybe grab liquidity, come back up, or continue selling down? Okay, so right now we've got a bearish ignited candle that is open bearish, continuing to do its job, fill that low, drop down here, hasn't closed yet. This 5-minute candle is representing COMEX market open right now at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so this is where normally we get some volatility in the next 5-10 minutes. Boyan, welcome all the way from Macedonia. Shopraj, my sister is there right now. They have, my cousin has a wedding down there, and they're there right now in Skopje. They went to Struga yesterday, and I believe today Lake Ohrid. So they're just enjoying their vacation right now. The wedding is next weekend. Po artis, po yam shiptar. Sorry, guys, just talking some Albanian over here with some Albanian snipers. Wagwan snipers. Wagwan, me generals. How's the Jamaican accent getting better? 6 minutes to major news, Dennis. What have we got coming up? You tell us. What have we got coming up? Canadian news? Canadian CPI. Yep, coming up in 5 minutes. So we've got some Canadian high impact news. We'll see how that affects the market. So coming up in 5 minutes. Okay, so, if we come back up, we're coming back up that 200 EMA, 9 EMA, could be a bearish crossover, continue to push down. But you see, we've lost the support now of Friday's closing balance, okay? So when you look at the daily candles now, daily picture, see, we've lost the support from Friday's close. So now we've just got this much volume left in today's daily candle, right? So it could turn bearish unless we can continue to build back up and regain Friday's closing support to push back up and fill the wick. But right now, the tide has changed, okay? So you see how it was originally bullish and continue to push down. Someone said, Ron, there was a sell. Why didn't you take the sell? When we were looking at the trade signals, we had a buy signal at 4,022. So I kind of didn't want to go against that. So I held off from selling. But if you guys got to sell, congratulations. Some of you guys said, Ron, I used some of your points of interest. That's fine. Good. But we got to watch to see what's happening now, whether we're in a buy or sell, what's going on with London's support over here. Okay. And then today's opening balance right exactly at 4,000. Okay. So the bleeding has technically stopped so far. Okay. See how we're building a higher low right now. Now we're coming into 8:30, and then there's some important Canadian red folder news on CPI, which could affect gold as well. Okay, so whether you're in a trade or not, now you have to understand that we're walking into 3 high impact folders. you can consider this one like a fourth high impact folder. I know they're not US. Someone's going to say, Ron, they're just Canadian, no big deal. But still, we got to acknowledge that there is some news that could affect the Canadian dollar, ultimately affect gold as well. Sir, when can you buy or sell? You can buy or sell whenever your heart desires. Just use proper risk management. Okay, so now it's coming back up. Remember, back up to Friday's closing price. So that's a point of interest on the daily. If the volume remains below it, it's acting as resistance. If the volume can get above it, it could act as support, okay? So you see the yellow line is still the yellow line. I haven't changed the yellow line, okay? The only thing that's moving is the volume. The volume is the only thing that's variable. The volume is the only thing that moves up and down. The lines of interest, the points of interest, whatever you want to call them, zones of interest, are all remaining the same zones of interest and points of interest, okay? So it came right back up to that line, and the 200 EMA is there as well, and it's acting as the resistance to continue to push this down until we get the final closing price in 90 seconds. If you're just joining us late, congratulations to any Spanish fans, Español fans out there on Spain winning the World Cup. That game was complete domination. My son told me, like when we were watching, it was 20 shots on goal for Spain and 0 for Argentina. Like that was no, I don't think anybody on the planet could predict that. Argentina played very dirty. Yes, there. I didn't want to say that, Sergio. You said that, but yes, it got really, really dirty and choppy. It's like trading choppy volume. That game got very choppy. Oh, there was a big Spain watch in Ottawa. Nice. Yeah, it was a pretty bad game. You know, for this championship game, it was kind of boring. And then the game before, oh my God, the third place game, England and France. What the hell was that? I was driving back from Toronto when that game was happening, and all I saw was updates on my phone. Goal, 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 goal. Okay, so here we go into the close. And then we got some high impact Canadian news. Okay. So we closed right here. Okay. So could we come back in the consolidation? Did they drop it? Okay. So we're still, oh man.